Hey, 4xe fans, if you haven't heard, Jeep/Stellantis is offering a $100 gift card for everyone who has a 4xe that has been impacted by the recent recalls. And they are emailing people who haven't had their recall done and offering this $100 gift card to entice them to come in and have this recall work done. But it doesn't seem like they're emailing those of us who have already had our recalls done, but we're all entitled to that $100. I called yesterday, it's legit. I called and supposedly I have a $100 gift card coming to me. And you may be wondering, why are they doing this at this point? What's going on? Well, there's a little bit of background. The NHTSA is putting some pressure on Stellantis because there are a lot of 4xEs that have not had their recall work done. A lot. I don't know what the number is, but it is a huge number of 4xEs still on the road. Keep in mind, there have been 250,000 Wrangler 4xEs produced. And now, not all those are in the United States, not all those are in North America, but there have been 250,000 produced. I don't know how many Grand Cherokees have been produced, but I would imagine that's 150,000 or something. I mean, I have no idea. That's just a random number I just threw out. I have no idea how many of those are made. So imagine if there's 400,000 4xEs on the road and say 300,000 of those are in the United States and only half of those have been done, then there are a lot of those running around that have the potential for a fire, and the owner would never know it. It would never throw the right codes. It would never throw a check engine light. It would just go into thermal runaway and cause a fire. So it is an issue that has been going on for a long time. You know, these recalls have been out there a long time. And I say recalls because there are a lot of people that have never had B9A done, let alone 95B done. So there are a lot of Jeeps out there that do not have this software that will let the owners know that they could have a potential issue with their battery that could potentially lead to thermal runaway, off-gassing, and a fire. So the NHTSA is not happy with Jeep's efforts, apparently, that they have not been aggressive enough at getting people to bring their Jeeps in and have them worked on, that they have put a little pressure on them and said, you got to get this stuff done. You got to get these are safety recalls. These are not, oh, your windshield wipers are going to run funny or your rear defrost isn't going to work right. You know, these are safety recalls. So if you know anybody that has a 4xE, please share this video with them. Please send it to them. There are several recalls that need to be done if they have not had those done to potentially avoid a fire. Now, I will add this at the end. This is Chris's commentary. These recalls are not fixing the batteries. These recalls are adding software to add better monitoring to the batteries. Whatever physical issue there is in these batteries that is causing this issue, and many of us are assuming that it's the separator material between the anodes and the cathodes, but whatever it is that's causing it has not been resolved by this recall. They're not going in and replacing batteries as part of this recall. This is to add monitoring software so that you will throw a check engine light and you will get like a P0 BAD, DAB, I forget what the code is. You'll get a code that says there's a voltage imbalance across the cells and you need to get it to the dealership. Now, if you get one of those codes, this goes back to some things I've said in other videos. If you get a check engine light in a 4xE, it's not like other vehicles where you can just say, you know what, I'm going to put my hand over that check engine light and just drive with my hand on this spot in the steering wheel so I don't see that check engine light. Check engine light can mean anything from an O2 sensor to a potential battery issue that could result in a thermal runaway scenario. It's kind of silly to me. I question some of the engineering decisions in that, because one, well, we've changed the name. I guess it's officially called a malfunction indicator lamp. It's not called a check engine light, even though the shape is the shape of an engine. But it seems to me like there should have been another signal for the hybrid side of the vehicle. A check engine light is meaning something wrong with the engine, but you can have this same light if there's problems with the battery or the hybrid system. So to me, it's kind of it's an interesting engineering decision that probably should have been looked at a little deeper, that we don't just have one light for everything, especially if it has nothing to do with the engine. So bottom line is, make sure you're getting these recalls done. Don't put them off. So, if you get a check engine light and it's associated with the battery, if you don't have these updates, it can lead to those issues. If you have these updates and it leads to one of these codes throwing, the system is eventually going to kind of shut down around the battery. You're going to be stuck with, like I've always said, that the Wrangler 4xe is always a hybrid, but in this scenario, it will actually shut down, kind of cut off the battery from the rest of the system and operate just on the gas engine. The problem with that is the 4xe, being a plug-in hybrid, does not have an alternator. It's dependent on that DC to DC converter in the IDCM to provide 12 volts for the battery, the low voltage side of things, the 12 volt battery and everything it runs. So it will eventually shut down on its own if you don't, get it somewhere and park it. It's not going to run long when it comes into that situation. So if you're near your dealership, I would drive straight to the dealership and park it. If you're near your house, I would drive to your house and park it and call a tow truck. If you're on the highway on a trip, pull over, get it on the side of the road, or get off at an exit, because it is going to shut down at some point if you have all that software. If you don't have all that software, if you haven't had these updates, it's not going to give you that indication, and it's eventually going to lead to some big issues for you down the road. So please share this video if you have anybody if you know anybody in your life that has a 4xe, Grand Cherokee 4xe, Wrangler 4xe, and let them know they need to get it in. Say, hey, I heard this guy on YouTube talking about these 4xe recalls and how important they are. They are very important. If you had a fire and it was in your garage, it could cause a lot of damage to your house. If you had, there've been a few fires where it's been parked around other vehicles and it's damaged the other vehicles. So the fires get hot and they burn fiercely. And if you've seen any of the pictures that have come out of those that have burned, the tires are melted, the interior's just torched, and of course it catches all the plastic on fire inside the vehicle, so it just burns, through forward and back through the vehicle. So they're intense fires. Lithium-ion battery fires are intense, and if the fire department doesn't get there really early and get a lot of water on the situation, it just burns, and they can just sit there with water on it and they don't go out. They're hard to put out. But if they get them during the off-gassing scenario portion of things, if they get it when it's off-gassing and it's just hot and they can get it cooled down and get it to kind of settle down, then they can get it under control. But if it's burning wildly, it's hard for them to get out. The fire departments actually have special nozzles for their hoses for EV and plug-in hybrid fires. They kind of like disperse a whole bunch of water, and they'll put them either underneath the vehicle or in the vehicle right on top of the battery. So it's pretty significant deal if these things burn. So please share with your friends. If you know anybody that has a 4xe, if you're at a gas station to see somebody with a 4xe, ask them, hey, have you got all your recalls done? Seriously, we need to help each other out with this, because not everybody's connected on the internet, not everybody's involved with Facebook groups, not everybody's on YouTube, and a lot of people are either ignoring these recall notices when they come in the mail, or their lives are busy and they say, well, I'll get to that eventually, and then they don't get to it. That's just life. That's how it works. So that's the bottom line of why Jeep is offering these $100 gift cards, to encourage people, entice them, if you will, to get in and get these recalls done, because it's pretty serious. So thanks for watching, and take care.